Thank you for that. If I wouldn't have played with it, it wouldn't have came on. Thank you. Sorry about that, people. If you're listening, uh, let me get this out of my way. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, people. I hope you stuck around to listen. But here's the thing: when General Melchizedek came out, he said he was working with beings underneath the earth. He called them the crystal beings. He said he brought 100 people down there, and he was going to come out to the world and introduce us to them. Never happened. Galactic Confederation, same thing. Never happened. But in the UFO world, they bring certain people in. Somebody that channels a being. Really? Oh, and we hear a bullshit story all the time from this channeling person talking about things that are happening, which are not important. George Cavalassius was the same kind of person. He was dealing with aliens, claimed all these things. Nothing ever happened. And then you bring up super famous people in the UFO world right now. Mr. Goody claimed that we were going to destroy the planet. Yes, we will, but not anytime soon. I mean, we will go through complete corruption in 7 years. The reality will be so different. We will be under one world order. People, if you don't understand it, you better get used to it, get prepared for it. Denver Airport was the home base for the New World Order. They publicly said it for 2 years, people. The secret base for, not the secret, the base for the New World Order is in the Ozarks. All right? Jesse Ventura exposed it years ago. It's got a 6-mile wall around it. It's bigger than all the land around in the White House. And it's directly over an import underground entrance to the underground cities. Well, at least one of them. People, do you hear anything about that? Anything? Do you know how much money they're spending on that yearly? I mean, they're spending, and this isn't a lie, people. You believe the government's poor and we got to borrow from China. It's a pathetic game they play. The United States spends $720 billion a year on space and weapons. Space is considered weapons. And then we have Mr. Trump come out creating a space army. Sorry, Mr. Trumpo. It was already there. But people who want to believe the lies, listen to ancient alien people. Listen to these people. Now they're starting to show you documents and things that happen and talking to the people that had experiences. Because it's real and it's much more important than seeing Tic Tacs flying around in circles. What are they doing? Not one of those people in Ancient Aliens can come up with what's really going on from their own ignorant brain because they have no clue. They never saw an alien. They never touched a ship or even close to one. They have no clue what aliens do with people. Well, they're starting to hear it and have to deal with it because TV goes, well, you got to spread your news out there a little more. We can't hear about pyramids anymore because you can't say anything different. So now they are adding abductions and those other words like that. Interdimensional beings here. And so you're going to see an explosion every which way. I mean, I watched 2 UFOs get exploded, attacked. And that was a couple years ago in Hawaii. People, we are dealing with, I say we are living in hell. Dealing with a lot of horrible things. All right. That being said, within the interim, we are dealing with Russia, China, all right, mainly these little countries fighting. The United States, Russia, China, they let these little countries fight it out. We feed them, they feed the other side. We don't actually want to fight with each other. Well, sorry to tell you, that's a lie too. Russia's not the big, powerful country. He wants to be, tries to be, but he isn't. China is not the big, powerful country. They threaten us with these bombs. They threaten us with this. Now, government people have very little clue what the government's doing. When they come out, which will be in 7 years, completely, it'll expose reality. But until that happens, the United States is weak. They don't have enough weapons. China said they could hit us within 5 seconds. They could do this. They can do that. Well, they don't know anything about the secret weapons the United States government has. Why? The basic change in all that reality happened with Nikola Tesla, not Einstein. Einstein was a program guy working with aliens, and they fed him so much false information, people. Tesla worked with an alien race as well, but he created 200 weapons, and no, 50 weapons, 200 inventions. But none of them are truly beneficial to the human race. Why? 50 of them are the most deadliest weapons on the planet. My good friend, a good friend, worked on it for the government. He was a genius at 14, and the government started working with him. He worked on the HARP system. What it can do. Now, Jesse Ventura went to the White House, talking to a few people in the White House about it. And he asked them, why did you create it? And they said, well, we didn't know what we were going to do with it yet. Didn't know what they were going to do with it yet. All right. Now, the whole thing about the Philadelphia experiment was kind of out there for a while. They did a movie on it, but nobody in the UFO world can talk about it because they know nothing about it. The two people involved with the books, Peter Moon and Al Bielek, Preston Nichols. All right. They both claim this, that, and the other thing, but they don't even know the top and important side of it, what really was going on, what went down. They promote stories after stories. If you read his books, you'll find out. He says, well, he's working with another country. They got tunnels that go across the world. They're dealing with machines that tell you what alien race you came from. All right, great stuff. But why aren't they proving one thing? Stories and writing don't mean anything, people. They're not going to help you understand God. They're not going to get you closer to God. They're not going to help you anywhere in life, not even in a relationship. And it's always a person's viewpoint. And we don't need that. All right, people. When we talk about where we're going, it's called UN Agenda 30, meaning 2030. But the 7 years between now and then, you will notice the world being destroyed greatly every month. See how many people died in the past 3 months around the world. And it's not going to get better. Now, Mr. Trump doesn't believe in global warming, but we're creating it, and it will be destroying a lot more. Sure, they're going to blame Hawaii on that as well, but it wasn't and it isn't. People, you're going to be lied to. Everything that's going to go down will be a lie. What's really behind what's going down, you're not going to know it. I mean, I worked with many people, including one of the most people that I ever worked with. He was part of MJ12. Now, they're the people that run the world. People, not president, not vice president, not Congress, they play the games with the little people. And they try to push and shove all the poor people around. They're not dealing with the rich people. The rich people pay their salaries. But it's all controlled reality, what they want. You don't think there's enough money to make the whole world equally sufficient and happy? Of course there is. But as long as a person hoards money and doesn't care about the person next door to him, we talk about peace. It can't happen. On top of that, you got countries which follow different gods. And those gods are different, and none of them are real. All right, Christianity follows their so-called God. Yeah, there's a God. Jesus was not a God. I'm going to put my life on the line, people. That's the biggest lie that was printed over and over and over. Jesus never said he was God. Ever. I don't know if you believe in reincarnation. You should, because you're reincarnating over and over, and you'll probably reincarnate over and over again until you find the truth. But here's the thing. Jesus was a miracle person. He was able to do 32 psychic abilities, which is the 32 aspects of spiritual awareness. Nobody else on this planet has ever came close, except, hold on, give me 1 second. Hello, I'm in the middle of a show. Could you call me in an hour? I'm on the show. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Sorry about that. And if the person wants to keep talking, I said, I'm in the middle of the show. So we need to realize, and that took my attention away. I'm so sorry. Well, what's happening right now, where we're going, what we're going to do. As I say, UN Agenda 21-30 has been happening. They're already to level 5, and it's called destruction, is population depletion, which will happen. They don't want more than half of the population on this planet. Neither do alien races, people. They got to take care of us in their own way because we're food for them. If you have a farm and you got 10,000 cows out there and you got a couple bales of hay, what do? You have to do something different, don't you? So when aliens play with planet Earth and what they do, they can't destroy it. When people say, well, if they wanted to destroy us, they could. Of course they could. Oh, not anymore. Well, I'm going to tell you the truth about things that nobody in the UFO world will talk about. We have the power to take out the reptilians and the Greys, the Nordics, and they're not spiritual beings. The Mantis, all right, the Draconians. Well, they each have a different way to be killed. I worked with a friend of mine who owned the Stardust Ranch, and he killed 18 Greys with a sword. All right? But, I don't want to get into how many he really killed, but he did kill one, at least I know for a fact. The same doctor that worked on Evie worked on the blood that he gave them, all right, when he killed the one alien in his house. But they're not good. And then we got problems, people. It's called programming. It means people that are programmed to believe a story which is created in their mind. Corey Good, all right? I hope it comes back. When somebody else tells you who you were and what you were, don't believe it. Because they could tell you were Batman in another lifetime. Are you going to believe it? If they tell you, yeah, no. You should only believe what you can prove to yourself in the inner worlds as far as the outer worlds as well. All right. God doesn't protect people here. Out of 8 billion people, how many people it would even try to protect? 10 people max? And it wouldn't be Deepak Chopra, Eckhart Tolle, the Dalai Lama, the Pope. It won't be those people either. People with money will never find the truth, ever. Unless they bow down and bend down on their knees and look for it and ask. But their egos are too big for that to happen. Now, when we get into the truth about religion, religions are programs. Jesus didn't come here to teach a religion, people. He never said he was God. What did he say? What did he teach people? Do you have a clue? Read the Bible 10 times. Tell me what Jesus actually taught. How to love somebody? How do you teach somebody to love somebody? You can teach them how to have sex. You can teach them a lot of dopey things. Oh, I don't need to reply to stories, please. Stardust Ranch was a really top of the line. It was better than the Skinwalker Ranch. A lot more going on in a small piece of property. Demons, entities, alien ships right next to the base. Army base was right there. Ships going in and out of it. It was incredible. He was killed not this December, last December. All right. And basically, he was being met by the men in black all the time. They wanted to. Even Bigelow came to his ranch and wanted to buy it. And that's before he sold the Skinwalker Ranch. People, you don't want the truth, you don't have to listen to my show. You want to listen to stories? Tune into Ancient Aliens, part 18 year, whatever. You think they're going to tell you the truth? They can't tell you it until it's basically public news worldwide. I have a CD, cassette even, not a CD, of the original Air Force encounter of ships over the Air Force base. My friend recorded it inside that when it was happening. It took him 45 minutes to get a jet to get over the airport where the ships were. And when they finally got there, all they got to see was the two ships take out into space. People, I'm not saying aliens are better than us because they're not. Are they smarter than us? When you call war and things like that, they are, or they were. They gave us many weapons, people. Tesla worked with them, and he gave the United States 50 of the most deadliest weapons. They're not using them publicly. Russia and China have no clue, even though Putin's working with alien races. But here's something else you will not hear. Russia and the United States are fighting with aliens in space right now and have been. Oh, really? Really, people? I put my life on the line on that statement. I saw two ships get blown up. All right. When we say that, Putin came out to Mr. Trump before he was president on public TV and said, I want you to tell the world what really happened at 9/11. All right. Nobody knows even what happened there. Then he said, I want you to tell the world what you're doing with aliens and UFOs. And, well, how much you see of that? It's changing right now. But then he said, we are working with many races. Putin said that publicly on Russian TV. All right. This is like 3 months before Trump was elected. And then he said, two of the races want to destroy the planet. How would he know that, people? Think about it. How would he know that they're trying to destroy the planet? And how? Well, Putin's not stupid. Putin is one of the richest people on the planet, if he isn't. All right. But he has his own problems. People. He loves his family, wants them to live forever. But he wants to have global warming. He wants to do farming 9 months a year at least. So Mr. Trump doesn't believe in it, but he talked to Trump. Remember when they met? They couldn't televise that conversation, could they? But the day after, Mr. Trump goes out and creates the space army. Imagine that. The day after he met with Putin, he goes out and creates the space army. Well, considering he doesn't believe in aliens, I mean, even his son did an interview with him live and trying to ask Trump to talk about aliens. He goes, well, I don't believe in it. But again, he created a space army. Why? Because Putin told him to. All right, Russia, United States are not really enemies in a lot of ways. But, ego and religion play a big part in what's happening. Right? Rich people don't give up their money easily. Don't give in to anybody else's truth easily either. Now, if you want global warming, stick with Trump. If you want world peace, who are you going to stick with? Nobody. Because there's only a few souls on this planet that know anything about a real God. And without that, we will never be more spiritually awakened at any level. Not any one of these people out there, people, claiming they're spiritually aware of what? The universal energy, which is the newest thing for the new age people. And that's only what, about 35, 40 years old? I'm trying to think when it started. When everybody goes, oh, my son's indigo child. And then they go, star child. Well, guess what? There was one beyond that, people. And I was probably one of the only people that knew it. The blue star children. All right? They have abilities. Not like star beings and then the indigo children. They have incredible abilities. But they have to have a switch turned on within inside them. And there's only 2 people on the planet that could do that. The government was taking out those children as much as they could. I'm not going to get into that whole detail because you probably have no clue or even understand it at any level. These UFO people go on and on about stories. Well, this and that, and this could be. I'm telling you the truth. They're only here for one reason. Well, 4 things. Do you want to know what they are? Food, blood, semen, ovaries, and a new body to use to breed in. United States is also cloning greys. So when people, which really bugs me, all right, I'll get into that. People that bug me, people that worked in the field for 40 years, cattle mutilation, and still has zero proof or zero clue to what is really going on. They brought her out to the Skinwalker Ranch to see a mutilation. Oh, it looks old, and it could be animals. It could be. I saw it happen 3 times. Physically, I saw it. How it happens. All right, and I don't care about cattle mutilation because there's 2 things that you need to know about it. One, the government does it, and so do aliens. Why would the government do it? Real simple. Because they're cloning greys, the same as the greys are cloning greys. The sac that is inside a cow is what's used to produce another cloned alien. They need blood to fill it that the entity lives on. They don't eat through their mouth, they absorb through their pores. Now, I actually saw a real video of it. Well, sorry, the government got this person. People, when the truth comes out, people disappear. If I ever disappeared, I don't worry. This is hell. The next realm, if you make sure you don't create karma that's going to keep you here, you don't have to come back here. Why would you want to? Because you're attached to something? And you think you're going to come back and say, hey, I'm back. Can we be friends again? Or can we be lovers? Can we be this or that? No. And soulmates. When a person says, I need a soulmate, you're locking yourself into something. Meaning 2 people have to work off twice as much karma, their own and the others. And during that time frame, they'll never get rid of it. And they'll reincarnate over and over with their same soulmate. Well, I was with him in 10 other lifetimes. Yeah, and where are you? Still here. You didn't get to stay even in the astral plane, which is not, it's better in a lot of ways, but it's not better than the next realm. When you let go of ego, right? Attachment, drugs, sex, sports, cheap thrills, all the things that keep people happy and here. Imagine you eliminated smoking weed, eliminated drinking, and removed all drugs. What would people do? Oh, we have to stop boxing. Any sport that violates an actual pain on another person, eliminated. All right. So, like hockey, when they go around the teams would be disqualified. Keep it safe, keep it right, and keep it pure. Never happened. Man wants it. Man has always followed abuse all through history. Well, after Atlantis was destroyed, because then they were programmed by aliens and sacrifice, murder, eating animals, and all those kind of things. It didn't exist in Atlantis. It was a pure race, people. The closest you could come to an angel as you could imagine. All right. You couldn't steal, you couldn't lie, you couldn't cheat. Everybody could read each other without speaking. So there's no way you could lie to somebody. And there was no reason to. Nobody was better than anybody. Ever. But aliens didn't like that. Well, I'm not getting into that story. We've got too much going on right now. So, what's going on with Russia? They're fighting with alien races. They're worried about certain things. Putin was worried about his country, and it's in turmoil. Every country is in right now. How is that? Because people that have freedom should not be controlled by a limited few people with a limited program. Same as the people that killed Jesus, the people that kill people. What do they know about karma? What do they know about death? What do they know about reincarnation? Nothing. If they knew the truth about everything, they wouldn't be stealing, they wouldn't be killing, you wouldn't be abusing everything around you, including your children, and you would not let that happen. But we're not going that way. Aliens have no clue to spiritualism. No clue to spiritualism, people. Oh, you raise your vibration, you can talk to aliens. Astral vibration is actually merging with this reality because of Mr. Tesla. I'm not going to go into the details, but we're merging. So that means, sure, you're going to be more in touch with these entities and creatures because of the Philadelphia experiment. It opened up a giant vortex in New Jersey, allowing entities of all kinds to come into this reality. So when a person goes, well, I met with St. Peter, I met with Moses, I met with whoever you want to claim you met with. Why would you think they want to talk to you? How can you prove it? Because they said so? How do you know what a being looks like? You know how big an angel is? Do you have a clue? You know how big a deity is? Do you have a clue? Oh, well, the pictures show this, so he must be big. How big? Like the 20-foot giants that lived here? I know a person in UFO world claimed he had a 45-foot alien coming out of the mountain where he lives. I said, it was a hologram dummy. But people want to believe so bad in the wrong things. Look for the truth. It will blow your mind. I just want to back up a little. Indigo children was after a certain time frame. People realized that children were coming in enlightened, more enlightened than most children being born, meaning they were a little more aware of soul, energy, and things like that. And that's as far as it went. Indigo children weren't super spiritual beings at all. Star beings were more enlightened than the indigo children. But also, they didn't have superpowers. None of them did. Now, the limited things that people have in this planet, ability to see the future, clairvoyancy, things like that, are limited, very limited. If a person could see 1 minute, just 1 minute into the future, they can change the reality of the whole human race. But nobody does. Nobody can. This is a fixed reality, people. I mean, watch The Matrix 2 or 3 times. You'll understand how bad it is here, really, and what you believe and what you think. Oh, I got children. Well, you got more responsibility, and you can't give them anything important. Imagine having 2 children, and you can't teach them anything about reality, about death, or reincarnation. What are you teaching them? Well, watch your computer all day. Play with games on the line. Go out and buy some marijuana and get high. Be relaxed. People need drugs. People need drinking because they can't deal with their own selves and reality. I'm not talking about people in pain. That is a totally different game. But people that are bored, which is 90% of the people on the planet, and not of the 90% of the people that are poor and homeless. 90% of the people that are at least have a job and have a house and everything are bored. If they didn't have sex, there would be no reason for them to even be here. All right. But the second thing is drinking and drugs. Getting high, getting out of the body, and hallucinating that you're having a great time somewhere. All right. Aliens are playing the game with us. But seriously, when they gave Tesla technology, they didn't realize they were giving themselves up. The same, it goes every which way. It's the truth. Sitting Bull, considered the highest medicine man in the United States, told Crazy Horse and Geronimo to surrender. We're going to end the wars. And he said, if you surrender, we'll end the wars. Guess what happened, people? They both walked into town and surrendered. Crazy Horse was killed 2 weeks later in jail. And Mr. Geronimo was a puppet for the cavalry. All across the United States, they rode around with him in a cage and having people take their pictures with a savage. 15 years they did that to the most powerful, strongest, greatest warrior of the Native nation. Do you know how much that brings your ability and character and personality and who you were down to nothing? And it was all because one person said, hey, surrender. This will make it all right. It didn't. The day after that happened, every tribe had to be on a reservation that they gave to the people. If they weren't, they were just killed. I'm not going to go into that whole story because it's evil. And people in the United States have no clue. And they believe they're better than anybody else. They're not. We all came in the United States, all came from massive killers. In the 1800s, they got paid money for a woman's scalp, man's scalp, and a child's scalp. And they had a gun to kill them. All they needed was a gun and a knife, and they can make as much money as they want. That's why guns were allowed with everybody. People, the cavalry rode across and trained shooting a buffalo as target practice. They weren't good people. And then they were killing every tribe that Thomas Jefferson told them to kill. And he became president. But you got people like even Aaron Burr and Hamilton. They had a duel. Aaron Burr killed Hamilton. Right where I went and did a lot of stuff, ghost busting and things. But I can go and tell you the exact details because I was working with a top psychic in the United States at the time, medium. And we worked with the people that were killed and stuff like that because I did a lot of exorcisms and, well, that too. But I mean, we did a lot of ghost busting. I call it ghost release, spirit release, helping these souls go. Because Aaron Burr was stuck in the Jumel mansion for a long time. But Madame Jumel, who actually still haunts that house, is still there. She said she'll stay there until that house is torn down. But see, things like that. People realize you're talking about aliens. You got demons. You got entities. You got interdimensional beings. And we're talking about ships. Oh, really? When a child goes in his room and there's a being or a creature standing there, oh, that's not real. Why? Because you can't see it, can't feel it, don't understand it. I worked with children when I was young, helping them get over the beings and creatures and entities that were around them and the boogeyman and things like that. It was a real entity, people, whether you want to believe that or not. Why do you think all the children saw it? Because it would go after children. Children are the most wanted in all religions, all paths, because they have the most energy. When they sacrifice a child, it's for the energy of the child. Same as the Native people, when they slaughter a buffalo, they eat its heart. Pathetic, but they believe what they believe in. We believe in negative things. We don't believe in anything positive, like a real God. And God's not a man sitting on a chair, sending bolts of purity and protection down to everybody. Wake up, people. If you have three children, one of them goes out and gets hit by the car and dies, or the other one falls off a cliff, or you got one left. Oh, God protected you from what? People want to believe in something that doesn't exist. Now, and I'm not saying God doesn't exist because it is the only thing that matters. And as long as you got your attention on anything but, you're never going to get to experience it in any way. Well, I was saved by the light. Oh, God saved me. What, once? You think the next time you're getting ready to die or you die, it has to save you? People, you live in a cloud. All right. Now, do you want to come out of it? Do you want to face the truth? You don't have much time. And how do you think you can enjoy the next 6 years, 7 years of your life? What could you do? What are you doing? Oh, I need better drugs. I need a better vacation. Yeah, well, how long's your vacation? Should be the rest of your life. I don't want to go into a lot of this because it's too far away from most people. Most people don't believe or understand when and where it was, at what time it was happening. It was before all the other continents, before Mu, before the Sumerians and everything else. It was way before that. And it wasn't the stories you hear from the Inaki and all that. Mrs. Zachariah Sitchin brought out to the world and twisted it and made it sound like it. Oh, the Anunnaki would have giants and godlike beings and all this stuff. They weren't. Your boss is godlike to you when you're a slave, but people, they weren't. They're not the high race that came here. All right? The highest race, for depending what you want to call high, are the reptilians, the Nordics, and the mantis. Greys aren't killers. They do eat people. I mean, that's a killer as well. But reptilians have their own agenda. I mean, they have sex with humans as well. All right, people. If you had an important question, please put it in the chat room. What word are you using in the chat room? Who are you referring to? And why are you saying they worship the devil? Some people, I really wonder where they get their ideas from. When you use the word savages, who are you talking about? Who are you talking about when you use the word savages? People, ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is ignorance. If you don't know anything, don't ask a dumb question. If you want to know the truth, ask a question that will bring the truth out. Not a dumb question. If you believe Native people were this or black people were that, the Chinese people were this, did you experience it? Do you know that's a fact at any level? Did you ever go to their country? Did you ever experience being with them? What does words that humans create mean? When they say awareness, humans cannot give the definition of spiritual. 99.9% of this planet have no clue what it is because they didn't experience it. You can't explain something if you didn't experience it. I'm aware of all my lifetimes, so I'm aware of everything I experienced as well. And I did experience everything you need to experience for any level of awareness, including psychic abilities. But I learned at 16, 17. They can't be played with, and they can't be used wisely. Nobody on this planet knows how to use something in God's viewpoint. You don't know God. How could you determine what's right or wrong in its idea of what's right and wrong? And yes, there's a right and wrong. That's why everybody and all these aliens and everything else was put in the hell realm. The physical. Why they reincarnate. Why they suffer. Once you get out of your body, you can't suffer anymore. You can't be stabbed, burnt, frozen, chopped up, any of that. But as long as you have a body, guess what? You're a victim in hell. You see it. You see pain. You see suffering. You can see death. You can see all these things. You can experience death and all that. But do you think you move forward from seeing it? You're talking about Egyptians did that. The Mayans did it. The Aztecs did it. Are you calling all them savages? People, I've been dealing in this realm all my life. I experienced aliens, Bigfoot, angels, spiritual guides. I'm not going to talk about God, but deities. They all can teach you different things, but none of it has to do with planet Earth, people. Sorry to tell you that. What's an angel going to tell you about planet Earth? Well, you need a better job. You need more money. You need to be good. Really? Are you that lame and believe that? People, the truth's hard and it hurts. Because when you have to let go of all the things you think are important, it becomes pretty scary. Because then you don't know where you're going to put your next foot. You'll probably step backwards. Well, I need drugs. I can't deal with that. Or I need this, I need that. You don't need anybody to explain awareness to you. You need somebody to explain how to get to it if you have no clue. I did things all my life by just doing it. I'm talking about crossing beings over, chasing aliens away, all those kind of things. I wasn't taught. Nobody on this planet could have taught me any of that, but I just did it. So that's because of my lifetimes. All right, you learn little things in your life, and hopefully you take a step forward. And for me, I could say I did. I mean, I could fall off and go backwards right now. Go out and kill somebody because I feel like it. I blew everything I worked hard for all my lifetimes. I mean, sometimes I feel mad and I say I don't care, but the truth is, I was protected from doing horrible things all my life as well. So, when we talk about spiritualism, does it have to do with aliens? No, aliens are not spiritual. When we talk about spiritualism, who are we talking about on planet Earth? Nobody. When we go into Deepak Chopra, he's basically Hinduism, all his teachings. Then when you go to Deepak Chopra, Eckhart Tolle, he's a New Age space cadet. Knows nothing about God and nothing about death. I remember when Oprah says, well, what about death? Oh, well, my father died. Well, he couldn't say anything about it because he doesn't know. He's here and now. The saying is, you got to be here and now. That is the only place you can be. You can dream and fantasize, but you still are here and now. If I cut your head off right now, you die right now. You don't die in the future, you don't die in the past. We're in the moment. We're in the present at every given second. You can live in the past. You can dream of the past, experience the past. But you are in the present moment. Don't let anybody say you can go into the future and past. Time travel. Well, you can go into a time travel machine and time travel, or you can become aware of your past lives, which is incredible, which every person should. All right. People read books. I don't know why. I haven't read. I was in a religion and I read every book they put out. And the more I read, the more I started pulling away. I was in a religion 20 years. And I was giving up on it. And then they threw me out. Forbid me to go anywhere on the planet to where that religion was. Imagine that. The head of this whole religion made these orders to go out there that I couldn't step in an Eckankar. It was called Eckankar Center, anywhere on this planet. They were afraid I was supposed to go to Africa for 30 days. And they forbid me to do that. They were afraid I would convert all the Africans to what I believed in. All right? It's not the same as Eckankar at all, because spiritual awareness has no dictators, rulers, or masters on this planet. And the only thing you're responsible to is God, not Satan. Lucifer's a high angel. When my best friend turned around and said, Lucifer is going to get killed by Jesus in 1934, 36, whatever. People live in these delusions. When they have a vision, how do you determine if it's real or not? Well, when somebody like Noah and the Ark, right? And he was given these things. How did he get it? They were visions. Now, Peter was one of Jesus' closest disciples. But now when you talk about Paul never saw Jesus in the physical reality. It was through a vision. Sadly, that's the way they all saw him. But the vision became real. And that's only a small part of what Jesus was teaching. And Jesus didn't even get to finish teaching that. Mary Magdalene had to finish teaching them. People, you listen to lies, you read lies, you believe lies, accept lies, and your life's so screwed up inside your brain, and you wonder why earth is hard. Earth is hell. Because it is. Mankind was put here because you're not. The only way you get spiritual is by leaving. You can't stay in hell and become spiritual people. Spiritual people don't stay in hell. God doesn't come down into hell. Why would it? It's like saying, would you go into a junkyard to live? Why? Are you that stupid? People, the truth always hurts. And the second you say give up or have to give up, you know what that means? I don't want to do it. Giving up your family. When Jesus told his disciples to leave their children and their family, why would he say that, people? Ask a Christian why. Listen to what story they'll tell you. Well, they had a great mission. No. Uh, you need to learn truth, how to determine whether it's true or not. You need to learn to listen to yourself. Soul. You are a soul inside this body. All right, and I could go into that. Read Barbara Marciniak's book on Bringers of the Dawn. She changed. She's a love and light person now, but when she wrote that, she was right on. But again, I'm on my 5th book, trying to get it done. They're giving me a hard time now. I said, just finish it. And I'm not going to give you any more money either. But people, I already spent more than I had to get this book out. And it's going to be for women, not men. And I keep telling that. Oh, here's the time. No, it has to pertain to women only. Men reading it are just going to get upset and hateful because it's not about good men, because there are none. So people, when you write things, can it really help people? My book will help women every which way. How to live life. Things they should do, things they should not do, ever. How they recover from certain things. During the situation, what they should do. All right? Talking about rape, abuse, and all those kind of words as well, people. The most serious crime you can commit on this planet. Killing, they're gone. The person you killed doesn't have to deal with anything anymore. You do. People, hold on. Why they thought you out? Were you rude? Who are you talking about? I finished the question. Why was that? What, I rude to who? I'm rude to people that are evil. I'm rude to people that think they're an egotistical brain. I write letters to Trump, Musk, Gates, all of them, every day. I challenge Musk. I don't challenge Trump because he's too ignorant to do anything. You'll find me dead on the street one day. Yeah, get rid of that person. He's attacking me. People that are afraid should be afraid because they have something to be afraid of. I'm not afraid of anything. Never was. Not angels. Well, when they come to you, how do you know what they are? Demons? Deities? I worked with a deity for years. I didn't know what it was, who it was. I'm still alive. The government can take me out. Well, here's the thing, people. The New World Order has to tell you what they do before they do it. They have to tell you what they do before they do it. Fact. Denver Airport proved and said it. We're the home base of the New World Order. They left it in the floor, engraved in steel for 2 years. When a person like, I don't know, what's his name? They always attack him. Oh, I can't think of his name. He was a host, radio host. But basically, hold on, let me see if this person wants to come in. If I could find him. Hold on. All right, I guess he doesn't understand. All right. People, I'm here all the time. I'm going to do as many shows as I can before I die. I wrote this book. I got one more that I want to write. In detail, I want to write a book about Jesus. All the ignorance that people throw at him, put around him, and expect from him is pathetic. But he's God. Really? Then why don't you talk to God? If somebody's a silhouette for something that's bigger, why follow the silhouette? Well, because God's not going to talk to you. God has no reason to talk to you while you're sitting in hell. What could you do for God? What can you do for God? Look at what Jesus did, and he was still allowed to be taken out. But that was Jesus' mission and truth for himself, not for you, not for anybody else. I can tell you what I did for God once, and I know I could never do it again, and I would never try to. But when you go outside the box and you realize who and what you really are, things become different. All right? Everything you assume is no longer true. Everything you want to believe in is no longer true. Once you shift over to that, then you can see the truth in everything. Planet Earth is one big lie. There's nothing beneficial here for your spiritual growth. Nothing. Oh, I love my children. I love my cat. I love the trees in my yard. Yeah, really? Do you love God? Oh, I love God. What do you love about God? Oh, he protects me. From what? The lies we feed ourselves over and over and accept it. And then think we are better off. You think you're better off than a homeless person in India sitting on the street praying? Really? Why? But is he better off than you because he's sitting there praying? Of course not. Prayers don't get answered on planet Earth. People, I mean, don't you think everybody prayed for peace 1,000 times over? Do you think anybody's going to stop aliens from coming here? No. The Pope says he's going to teach them Christianity. Ignorance goes every which way. The more power you have, the more ignorance grows. I've been challenging Mr. Gates, but he's a waste. Mr. Musk. I think there's hope for him. Not much, but I still hope there's hope for him. He wants to go to Mars. And I told him, why? He's not going to like what he finds there when he gets there. He has no clue what he's going to find when he gets there. I said, you need to find the truth out before you even think about going there. You should. Find out about the moon. What's actually on the moon first. Because you get the moon a lot quicker than Mars. But people, you create an idea in your mind and it sounds great. Everything could sound great. In reality, is it? We go on and on and on and on and over and over and over the same footsteps. Are you ready to stop, look around, and then see where you really want to go? Just down the road? Why? Well, I can see bigger trees, I can see the water better, I can see blah, blah, blah. You don't care about God. Never did. You want protection. That's what people want from God. When they want money, they go to God. When you want things, you go to God. What do you want from God? Anything? People, if you think aliens are going to come down here and give you what? Gold bricks and teach you how to build bomb-proof houses, and what do you think they're going to teach you? Well, look what they taught Tesla. They taught him how to make an earthquake machine. A super deadly weapon. They taught him how to make the HARP system. The biggest, deadliest weapon on the planet. All right? People, do you think aliens are good? Why? Tell me one good reason why you believe they're good. Text me, email me, on Skype, it's Hawksblood11. Please, people, if you think you have a truth to something, tell me. I'll debate you on it, or I'll bring it on a show if it's real. I'll know if it's real, what you can say. How big is God? What color is it? Where does it dwell? What does it do all day? You don't have a clue to any of those answers, people. And it's not sitting on a throne begging for people to pray to it. If it wanted everybody to pray to it, we would just be heads sitting on the ground praying to it. We create our own walls to live in, people, not God. We create our own destruction, not God. So we can blame Satan for keeping us here because he loves us here. He'll give you what you want, people. You heard the story, sell your soul to the devil? Sell your soul to the devil and you get what you want. Everything. You won't get it back because then you have to reincarnate and start over. And then you'll probably do it again because you didn't learn anything. So, people, I've been dealing with so many people lately and realize it's hard living here. To all have a one-track mind. Where's the track going? Nowhere. If you put a track around the planet, where would it go? Give it all the time you want. You'll end up right back where you started, wouldn't you? So all the experiences, all the things you saw and went through, and you're still right back where you started. So what did it help? Your ego. Feed your ego. That's all men does. That's all women do. Women have been taken down further into man's reality, which is bad for them. Women didn't have the same desires as men did, but they were always slaves. They never had freedom. Ever. 100,000 years of slavery, which they're still in. I'm trying to help women understand that the laws on the books are wrong. After Bill Cosby got not framed, but blamed for 50 rapes, he ended up being charged with one of them. Then he went to jail for how long? And then he came out? Really? People, we don't understand. Men don't care. Men don't want people to go to jail for sexual things, ever. Because I don't want to get into it. It's so pathetic, twisted, and perverted, men, at almost any level. Don't ask me why I chose to be a man, because I had to come into this reality right away, and I had to take the next baby that was being born. All right? When you're aware of things like that, it makes things incredibly, I'm trying to think of the right word, better? No. Greater? Real? Showing you reality, what it really is, what aliens are, what Bigfoot is. But I'm going to just go into this real fast. I watched a special last week about Bigfoot. Not chasing Bigfoot, finding Bigfoot and all that. About Russia and Bigfoot. 1950s, people. Hitler and Stalin were playing with Bigfoot. They were trying to clone a human and a Bigfoot together to create a super army man. They call them super soldiers. For real. And this was back in the 50s, and we still never caught one. They did. They had them. The one escaped and killed people, and it had to be killed. People, pull it up. I'm sure you can find it online. But it'll blow your mind away. What they actually have, the video, the pictures, how they worked in the labs and all this stuff for it, with it. It'll blow you away. And we're talking about a Bigfoot in 1950. What, 70 years later? And we still can't catch one? In the United States, anyway. Well, I'm not going to go into that in detail. But they're not super intelligent. They're not super spiritual. People claim it and say it. Why? Because it's like a roach. You can't kill them. They're the oldest creature on the planet. Well, Bigfoot knows how to hide. I'm not saying they can't disappear and reappear. Humans can do that as well. I'm sure if you go through history, there'll be certain people that have and proven to have done it. It's not a gift for everybody. It's not something you can do every day. But there's things that happen. Like I said, the psychic ability is when it's under God, what God wants to happen. Not versus what you want to happen. Now, Joan of Arc was dealing with God. The only problem she had, she was dealing with killing. Killing and God do not go together. Jesus was never a killer. Moses was, people. He was a massive killer. Men, women, and children. All right. So, I'm going to cut it short, a couple minutes longer. But people, I do this show for the truth to help you understand a little bit more about why you're here and why you need to leave. Don't think about reincarnating. And don't think about getting on a ship. Even if you're 20 years old. If you're going to age on Mars, if Mr. Musk said, hey, you can come on a ship with me, you probably would. And what do you think you're going to do when you get there? What's your entertainment? How many girls you're bringing with you? Or guys you're bringing with you? People don't think things out from start to finish, where it came from, why it's this way, and where it's going to go. We should. Why there's so many races here that are gone. Why aliens killed all these other races. Why there was always fighting. Why they had to destroy Atlantis. It was the only place in their atmosphere, in their universe, in their galaxies that were pure. They couldn't deal with that. All right, people. We'll put my email address in the chat room again. But I hope you got something out of today. Please text me, email me if you got a question, a real question, an important question. I'm not in Storyland, people. I don't tell stories. I'm not trying to make you feel good either. It's not my game. People need to laugh. Oh, that's funny. Oh, really? No. We're in hell. And it's getting worse. And you're going to sit there and laugh about things? And then make fun of people? Well, I'm not talking about making fun of people that are trying to destroy the planet or destroy reality like Mr. Stephen Greer. I would face him in a day, in a second, anywhere. Just to look him in the eyes and call him an asshole. And say, have you got any powers, anything that your alien friends gave you? But thanks for coming on. It's been a pleasure, people. Till next time, enjoy your day, night, wherever you are, whatever country, whatever planet, wherever you are. All right. Till next time, Tommy Hawksblood here. I'm sorry that Tina couldn't come on. I'm sorry I screwed up the hour, but I got so much going on. I got to move, and it's a lot of work. We have so much stuff, and we have to move it all and get rid of stuff. So, yeah, it's not fun. Moving's not the most fun thing to do unless you're going to a better place. But we are. All right, people. Love, light, compassion, whatever you need in your life. Don't stop until you get it. Okay, thank you all.